This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, you already know that Wayward is about the revenge, redemption, responsibility, that occult work, because art is occultism. Occultism is an art. And as you already know, I have the monthly lessons going on. But in addition to, I do work one-on-one with individuals. That's a different frequency of the monthly lessons in addition to work. However, of course, hit up Wayward. Do I say Happy New Year's right now? Hell no. I will say Happy New Year's. Now, I didn't switch up because you know I'm Cancer. I'm going to say Happy New Year's to you in March and April, bitch. But I have some fucking questions. I've been peeping black people, and I was discussing with someone. I said, this new year, the numbers are off. These are not good numbers. Okay? And there's a lot of frequencies that's going to happen this year that is not going to be for the benefit of black people or your pockets if you don't get it to fuck together. Black people need to rebrand themselves and come back new. Fuck the old shit, meaning the bullshit that you've been doing before, unless you're pulling from your ancestors. Here we go. I have some fucking questions. And I've been peeping some shit. Black people been out here acting like Afro-Caucasians. We got Afro-Latinos, but you motherfuckers been acting like Afro-Caucasians. They say we're Afro-American, but if you really break down and understand the frequencies, Afro-American just mean African descent with Indian descent. But it's so difficult because now you understanding that they renamed the Moors Indians. And we're not talking about the hybrid Moors. We talk about the real motherfucking shit. What? Word game. So in layman's terms, we're here in America. We are of African descent and Indian descent, but the Moorish descent, but we get all intertwined, even me, with all of this energies going on out here that's mainstream. You're a Hebrew, you're this. Look, the bottom line, what it comes down to is that there's so many facets of black people in our energies, we can't even enjoy being different. We can't enjoy being a real Moor, not a hybrid, a real Jew, not a hybrid, whatever you want to be, a European, not a hybrid, Italian, not a hybrid, an American, not a hybrid, Asian, not a hybrid, Latino, not a hybrid, Caribbean, not a hybrid, East Indian, not a fucking hybrid, Middle Eastern, not a fucking hybrid, Egyptian, not a hybrid, Samoan, not a hybrid, Polynesian, not a hybrid, Australian, not a hybrid. When you understand the difference between a fucking hybrid and the real deal, you would stop being an Afro-Caucasian. What really made me think about it was Dr. Umar Johnson, which we don't know really what the fuck is going on. And he said Cardi B and Offset is basically a black couple. I said, bitch, please. Just a minute ago, she was on Love and Hip Hop New York, and she wasn't claiming that. That is not a black couple. That is an interracial couple. Because Dominicans don't consider themselves as black, even though they're Haitian. Don't play with me, you Afro-Caucasian. See, that's what we talk about, them Pan-African and conscious motherfuckers. They are Afro-Caucasians. The blacks, Africa, they're Afro-Caucasians. They have adopted and adapted a culture that fucks them over. They say any fucking thing. You got niggas out here running around talking about the interracial relationships and this and that, and you shouldn't be speaking on this. You're an Afro-Caucasian, motherfucker. You got crazy ass biracial kids out here hollering at black women, talking about don't force your kids to be black. Shut the fuck up, you paid informant. We're going to talk real talk right this year, right? I'm not fucking around with these biracial kids. Oh no, that's hate. Fuck you. You are paid. It doesn't make sense. They have paid social media. They're putting these motherfuckers up here, throwing Masonic signs, codes, the average 666 signs, and we not peeping the whole game from motherfuckers revealing what the fuck black people do behind closed doors, ancestral energies, always telling you what to do, not to do, what it is, what it ain't. They are all motherfuckers who are plants. Social media plants. These are not motherfuckers coming off the street becoming viral. These are just motherfuckers that the government or CIA, whosoever who's backing them up, is paying them to get on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, to reveal energies and tell lies to persuade. So now we're going to keep attacking black women. We're going to keep talking about black women, what the fuck we doing wrong. The fuck you talking about? Our ancestors was a whole generation feeding fucking white kids, biracial kids, and more by the tit. Get the fuck off of here with that bullshit. My motto this year is to work in low vibrations. I'm going to cuss you out because you're not going to walk up on me telling me what it is, what it ain't. I was just looking at this white girl walking up on this white woman telling her about her service dog. And should the service dog be around the food? And she's going to go tell the manager. But you take your ass, because I'm not going to talk to you sensibly anymore. I'm not going to talk to people sensibly anymore. I am going to have emotional intellect problems. I am going to have emotional maturity problems. And I am not going to be against anti-intellectualism, but maybe we need to bring that back for thought. I ain't being accountable for a motherfucking thing. You're not going to keep using that word accountability on my ass so you can sit up and take an account of every fucking thing I do. And I never could get out of my fucking circle This year is the fucking infinity, the nexus. I'm not going to keep going around in your fucking circles. You niggas around here on this fad shit, acting like Afro-Caucasians, talking about you need accountability, accountability, accountability. No, I am not. Because you're not going to have me on the list that every fucking thing I fucking do, you keep coming back at me? Why don't you think these motherfuckers are able to keep coming back at these entertainers with more shit, more lawsuits? The more the accountability that supposedly that's being taken, the more they up there taking a checks and balance list. I'm not going to be on that fucking spell work with you fucking Afro-Caucasians. You don't even know the fucking difference between responsibility and accountability, but you will get a motherfucker on here who say that they are so intellectual. Oh no, she don't know what she's talking about because of vocabulary. You can't pay attention to her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's uneducated. She barely could speak. She don't even know what she's talking about. She uses the wrong verbs in places and adjectives. Because we need to use our adjectives. She didn't even know how to use adjectives. And she's up here telling people how to speak, how to talk. That's because I'm in spirit and you're not. You Afro-Caucasians. She's up here telling people accountability. It's the same thing as responsibility. She's disgusting. She don't even know what she's talking about. And whoever follows her, they don't have a bit of sense. She's ever telling people not to be accountable. They have to be accountable. Because they got to make it right. But the trick is, if they continuously be accountable, they can't never get out their situation. So we're going to hold black people accountable and say that they appropriated Asians. They took the word Wu-Tang. Came from us. They got to be accountable. But the Wu and the Wu-Tang came from Africa. Who's the real appropriators? We need to make these Afro-Caucasians accountable. So we're going to tell everything that they have stolen from. They've stolen from Indian people music, their sexual deviancy. That's what it is. But we don't focus on the real deviants and perverts. We're just going to divert you. We're just going to make you accountable for everything. We're just going to put it on, social media and reality shows and put this act on and make sure episode something happens and make them accountable. We're going to create this new generation of accountability. Not responsibility, but accountability. We're just going to make you believe that is P. Diddy. Then we're going to create all of this orchestrated everything that goes on with him. He did it. He did it. He did it. He killed Chris Kelly from Crisscross, trafficked him. He did this, he did that, he did this. He's the leader of the pack. But wasn't Crisscross under Jermaine Dupri? Didn't Jada Pickett, Fat Joe looking ass, Pitbull looking ass was fucking on him? From Crisscross, that kid? But we're not going to make the parents responsible. Who are these kids' parents? Where in the fuck did they come from? Did y'all give to your ancestors? Did you take accountability? On January 1st, the day they call it the day of heartbreak, when Your people sold your ancestors to different places, Caribbean islands, European countries, anywhere, everywhere, different plantations, breaking up families, the day of fear, mayhem. Did you take accountability? Did you give to them? Did you talk to them? Did you make amends with them? Did you ask them for help? Did you feel empathy and sympathy? Because you just look at Africans, but you understand it was Indians here, so they did it to the Indians, or Moors, whatever you want to call them. And we're not talking again about the hybrid Moors that sold motherfuckers in different places. Not the Middle Easterns, not the Arabic, the Arabs, the whatever, the Allahs, energy. No. We're not talking about them. Moroccans, the gypsies. We're not talking about them. Oh, she's being racist. No, I'm not. It's truth. Just read between the lines. What did you give on the 1st of January? You niggas are so busy trying to make motherfuckers take accountability. You didn't know that originally Santa Claus was black? You didn't know the original Saint Nicholas was black? You better go look that shit up. You better look at those pictures, the original pictures, especially from Ireland and everywhere else, of the original Saint Nick. You know, the one that you say that's a demon, that's a pagan. Did you celebrate your Christmas? Did you give the Saint Nick? What'd you do? You Afro-Caucasians don't even cook anymore. You talking about a New Year's resolution for you commenters. How about get the fuck off of DoorDash and stop eating out at the slop shops? T.I. has a new trap restaurant. Fuck that place. Slop. The only thing we eat is chicken and waffles and grits. Is that all we eat? And then when you look at that shit, it's slop food. What the fuck is really going on at these pop-up spots that just serve grits and shrimp? And shrimp is the poor man's richness. They tell you it's roaches, there's sea roaches and everything. Nah, that's wealth. Crab, lobsters, all that is wealth. Fish is wealth. Shrimp is cheap. Crawfish has richness. I forgot, you're Afro-Caucasians. You listen to bullshit. Did you ever think you motherfuckers was out here taking sick with your health because you eating from gas stoves and it's toxic? Maybe we have to go back outside cooking. Get your ass off that fucking DoorDash. That demon food that fast track your death. Then you wondering why your life is going so fast because you too busy eating fast food. Eating slop. Grits at one time had more respect. There's no respect. They have taken the taboo out of everything. I had the audacity to hear this Afro-Caucasian person talk about that white people stealing the energies of black people and their ancestral frequencies. As for eating greens and whatever, cabbage and black eyed peas, that's your motherfucking fault. Indians been doing it. You let the Asians do it. And now the white people are doing it. When I was up here a couple years back talking about weak DNA, some of you motherfuckers was riding for those white folks that was coming at me. Weak DNA people need to be fed. They hungry because they weak DNA. And yes, they're going to think that our ancestral energies are going to work for them, but that's because we help it work for them. If I'm going up in locations and I'm seeing white people allegedly practicing African energies, and you have this frequency of a white man, the lead of the Haitian culture of religion, the fuck you talking about? When you can sit up here, adopt yogi and yoga as your form of religion, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. When you can sit up and argue me down because I said what the fuck I said about Ifa and Century and all that shit, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. When you can't see that they're trying to get rid of botanicas and metaphysics stores so you can't practice your shit and try to make it illegal and try to close them down, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. When you can't see they have changed the scope of Christianity and took the spirit out of it, then have the audacity to put these fake motherfuckers on social media to tell you what it is, what it ain't, and tell you not to idolize something, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. When now they're trying to build a structure of Christianity to hide bullshit and then incorporate Orishas in it, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. If you can't see that, if you can't sit up and talk to someone and say, hey, maybe you want to rethink about being the daughter of Yemaya, the daughter of Oshun, and you want to argue people down. If you can't see that ever since Black people are not in their own frequencies, as in spiritual practices, and they have lost the scope of spirit, and you have went the psychological frequency, and you done sat up and adopted the white culture to tell you it's all mental, the Asian culture to tell you it's mental and to regulate you, shut the fuck up, you Afro-Caucasians. When you can literally sit back and condone the behaviors of these saucy Santanas and the rest of these motherfuckers, and you afraid to speak on that shit, and you don't think that's spell work, get the fuck up out here, you Afro-Caucasians. When you can sit back and watch every time you look, somebody need to take accountability. I've been waiting for them to come out on Method Man. Then here it goes, and somebody, he done did this, he done did that. I don't give a fuck. They give us this video with DJ Academics, and you can hear this woman screaming. I don't know what the fuck that is. That could be an AI. Matter of fact, who have all these videos now and these recordings of these people? Who bought that shit? And now it's coming out. Did Scientology have it? Was it Masonry that had it? And now that we've been bought out by Indians and Middle Easterns, all that shit is coming out. Black people, have we been bought and now we are enslaved by the Middle Easterns? And that's why you have so many niggas over there going to the Middle East and Dubai. And then converting into Islam. Every time you look now, it's Allah, it's Allah, it's Allah. I don't know shit about that Allah. You better not talk about that, because I don't give a fuck. Didn't I tell you this year I'm going to be cussing? You're like, bitch, you've been doing that. I'm just saying. I'm not under that. You got all these entertainers going over there because they done sold their ass. We don't even know if that's them. You have motherfuckers out here saying, hey, did Hussein really die? Because when you compare Hussein to who they captured, those are not the same energies. Because you know Middle Easterns are good for having a double. You got Tyrese Gibson out here wearing dresses and shit in red. And people was like, well, maybe it's the garb. Ain't no garb. That nigga done sold his ass, and that's not even Tyrese. We're gonna stop playing with these people playing games with us. Are we gonna fucking stop? You have this woman that say she is Joe Biden's granddaughter. He's dead. He been dead for 4 years, and it's his twin brother. No, Biden does have a twin brother, and his brother have been out here disguising himself as himself. Some people say this fucking Jim Carrey. We literally watching a joke in front of our face, and we're sitting up here talking about Biden. We need to stop. I'm telling you, 2024, the numbers. Black people so concerned about Funky Dineva. Fuck Funky Dineva. He need to go and rebrand himself. That nigga always getting fired. Who gives a fuck? Put Kaya on there and call it a day. That'll get it popping. We don't give a fuck about him. He needs rehab help. Shit, stop playing. That's a whole story tale. People were hitting me up asking me what the fuck was going on in California with all of the tsunami warnings. Nah, the tsunami, what was happening is this. Remember, I'm going to flow show. I used to work at UC Berkeley. I used to work at the Seismo Lab, Earth and Planetary Science. I talked to many professors, talked to them about earthquakes and so on. I keep telling you motherfuckers that earthquakes start in the water. Japan is closer to the West Coast more than you think. In a minute, the way Japan keeps shifting, we're going to be walking to Japan, bitch. That's how close fucking Japan is to the West Coast. They're so busy talking about California and the coast and how the waves and everything was hitting. Shit, what the fuck was going on in Washington State? What the fuck was going on in Oregon? Shit, let's look at Alaska. Matter of fact, let's take it a little further. Let's talk about Samoa and Tonga. What was happening was many earthquakes was happening in the water, in the plates. The plates were shifting, and it was happening ahead of time. And then the earthquake happened in Japan allegedly on January 1st. But I bet you it didn't happen on January 1st. You know what I think? I think that earthquake been happened, and then the West Coast got the aftermath post-earthquake. I will, because the way that they're making it look as if the earthquake as if the earthquake happened on January 1st, then the waves and everything and all the energies going on, of course, in Santa Cruz, Southern California, Bay Area, it was just happening. Well, that's a sign to me. So let's look at it. Let's look at the game. Earthquakes always start again in the water. Somebody was sending me something about Maryland. Maryland is surrounded by water. Okay? However, what country also is Maryland connected to? You also got to look at things like that. There's earthquakes in Haiti. What's the connection? You can't believe shit they tell us about the maps. They're talking about Africa is upside down. America is all confusing. The bottom line is that you can't believe shit. I'm not believing nothing. I don't care what they show us. I don't care what it is. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, even Texas is part of Africa. Florida is part of Africa. Look at the dots. Atlanta or Georgia. Attach it. Mexico, Central South America. Stop playing. Do you see what's happening right now? Do you see how Japan, the volcanic energy, created a new island? Do you see how there's an earthquake and is breaking Japan apart? Do you understand I'm saying to you that Japan is getting closer to us? Do you understand when that earthquake happened in 2011, it shifted Japan, dropped it, pulled it closer to the West Coast? That their shit went to Seattle and Oregon first, then led into Ocean Beach into San Francisco. Are you gonna fucking play with me, you Afro-Caucasians? Japan keeps shifting closer to us. So don't you get it? This is how energies come together. This is how the world breaks apart. This is how floods happen. And then it covers the universal soul. Then it creates new energy. Do you realize the spirit is giving us an answer to all our questions and we are ignoring it? Because we're worried about supporting the Middle East. They don't support us. They over there selling black babies. Maybe, I hate to say it, maybe that needed to happen in Palestine as well as Israel. Fuck the United States. What the fuck are they doing? Oh, she's wrong. No, I'm not. They're over there selling black babies. They're treating our melanated energies bad. So I understand the weather. I understand the ocean energy. It makes sense. I said, oh, we're shifting and we're getting closer to Japan. Japan is becoming closer to the West Coast. In a minute, it's not going to take that long to fly there. In a minute, it's going to be so close that all you're going to have to do is catch a boat from Morocco to Spain, like that. From Mexico to Cuba. It's going to be a boat ride. That's what Spirit is trying to tell us. Spirit is trying to tell us this is how the world is created. New land, break apart, pull closer, shifting plates. I'm going to be real with you. Man is not that powerful. Than Mother Nature. Not that powerful. They can do shit, just like somebody was sending me a video about them doing fiber optics in the water. And this was a video from 7 years ago. So we can have phone and communication in the water? And putting drones and robots in the water to have phone service, fiber optics, metals and irons, electricity in the water. Then we wonder why the fish is dead and the water is hot from country to country. Humans are killing things. Then I started thinking, Damn, that is true. Everything is upside down. In the Mediterranean, it was hot water killing fish. Japan killing fish. These motherfuckers are putting all type of toxic energies in the water. So we want to talk about the earthquake in Japan? Let's talk about the shifting in the plates. And what came first? Was it the tsunami? Or did they bamboozle us and the earthquake happened in Japan first, then we got the tsunami? Because they don't want to tell us how close Japan is to the West Coast. They don't want to tell us how close the continent, because I hate to call it Africa, considering at one time in America, all those names that's in Africa were here, and they switched it, as well as in Europe. It is summer hot in fucking Australia right now. What frequency are they under? I'm just asking questions. You got them reshifting white people that they're trying to put that rapper Eminem on the pedestal, and they got mad at, I guess, Umar Johnson because he said he's not a GOAT. Eminem is not a GOAT. We don't even know if that's him. He looked like a robot. He up there suing them two chicks from the Real Housewives of Potomac for the word shady. I said, are you telling me these motherfuckers are going to trademark words that are very general? He calls himself Slim Shady, and they show it's called Shady something. That's two different concepts. How can you put a cease and desist and a restraining order? Oh, they trying to up weak DNA. Gotcha. You niggas out here going to the color purple for dummies. Y'all up here stuck on Tahaji Henson and her fucking story tale. She's a Virgo. I'm not hearing that nigga shit. And she up there hyping Cookie. Were you listening to Monique when she was trying to tell you the what's up? Or you not trying to listen to Monique, but you listen to her? I'm not trying to listen to a woman who's trying to hype her movie. They didn't recreated a musical Color Purple for dummies that had no spirit in it and has an AI effect. People went to see it. I went to see it. I said, this shit whack as fuck. I don't have time to be explained shit. You people out here acting like Afro-Caucasians with your intellectual disabilities, like you can't understand shit and you need everything explained to you like you a baby. That's why spirit is gone, because they need to tell you what it is. They need to stop trying to say that fake ass Oprah is on Ozempic. I don't have time for it. I don't have time to be under Fantasia's ritual. I'm going to look at the old Color Purple and call it a day. At least he was spirit in that. This is a dummy book. And you Tyler Perry niggas was running to go see it. Did Alice Walker really write the book? Because I heard she really didn't. Especially the energies of the purple energy, knowing that some that's consciousness connected to something else. Because they say the real Alice Walker is dead. And they gave us this one. How is Oprah the head of this when it came from Alice Walker book and this woman's still alive? And she's in an interview. Then you seen this energy with old Suge looking weird. I said, that's not her. This woman look weird as fuck. I don't have time to be under that weak ass spell work. I'm not stupid. I got spirit. But you know, you Afro-Caucasian to go break your neck to see it. Y'all up here mad at TD Jakes. I'm not mad at TD Jakes. You the one who hyped him up as a televangelist. Y'all sat up and followed these televangelists. You knew fucking well they were industry. You knew TD Jakes was not of God. But are you? Because when you under the word and you understand the word, you understand he has forgiveness. He's under mercy. See, he don't even know what the fuck he's under. Because he got on television trying to explain that he was a pervert and he likes to fuck and he likes orgies and he's bisexual. He's with the shit. I wouldn't explain shit. I'll just go talk to my God and ask for mercy. See, y'all forgot about the blood because y'all don't know about the blood. And you don't understand that your sins are forgiven under the blood. So you have no right to keep having that man take accountability. And he has no right to explain to you his accountability. Because if he believes in Jesus and he believes in the Christ, he's already set free. He's forgiven. You niggas out here keep wanting to talk about, well, it's under Freemasonry. Well, I'm under Freemasonry because my church was fucking around with Prince Hall. My church had Eastern Stars and Masons. Most pastors are fucking Masons. Your Kirk Franklins and all of them got in the industry. You don't mix industry with Christianity because the bottom line is this. Over here is a different frequency. Church always been in its own zone. You would have never heard in the media TD Jakes fucking around with Diddy, but TD Jakes allegedly been knowing Diddy since he was a little boy. I told you that boy was groomed. What it is, what it ain't, what it ain't, what it is. That's why I said in this industry, everybody's connected. Just like somebody I know was telling me about Michael Jordan's real mother. And she's nothing but a CIA op. Because allegedly he's adopted, but he was taken away from his mother when she was 14, 15. Everybody's connected. Just like somebody was saying, well, you know, Aretha Franklin, Cissy Houston, and you know, Dionne Warwick, they're all cousins. Everybody fucking related. If you wasn't in a cult, in the system, or relate somebody, is what it is. My question is, what is TD Jake's real connection to Puff Daddy? Is that his uncle? We just talking shit, right? We want to understand the universe. What the fuck we're looking at. Because what I'm saying to you, we're out here listening to Afro-Caucasians feeding us DoorDash slop, open up these fucking restaurants that slop, and other shit is going on. We're up here looking at all this social media. They're trying to control us with social media, which they have, and not showing us that black people been bought the fuck out. Our men punked the fuck out. You got dumbass elder women talk about poly relationships. Fuck you, bitch. I'm a jealous one. No, I don't want to be in a household sharing my man's dick with the next bitch. Now, if you're an old bitch and your vagina tired, cool. But your man better have you in a different house. You up here listening to Sherazad Ali. We should have known she was an op. What she connected to, allegedly. We're going to stop playing this year. No, I don't want to be in a polygamy. Nah, nigga. I don't give a fuck if men cheat. I should just accept it and keep that nigga. Nah. I don't feel like it. I'm working on emotional low vibrations. I just can't. No, I'm tired of you putting spell work on me because you a man. You're not going to knock my head off because you then reverted or converted whatever in fucking Nation of Islam in that work. There's a whole other energy going on with that. Middle Eastern shit. Then you wonder why the Indian culture have lapsed into our shit. You have East Indians being disrespectful to black women and the black community on the workforce. I have a person telling me at her job, a damn East Indian talking about, are you an angry black woman and all that shit? That is harassment. Do you fucking Afro-Caucasians know about the EEOC and suing motherfuckers? Do you understand that is not at will? You dumbasses. You so busy trying to be intellectual, you Afro-Caucasians, you don't even know your fucking rights. They have trained you to be so woke that white people came in, took the word woke, flipped that shit, and now you think you woke. You ain't woke, you a dummy. Because they have changed the scope of racism. And now they're using third world motherfuckers to be racist towards you. Somebody I know had one of my spiritual constituents went to London and was telling about the Middle Easterns and the Indians that are there have taken over. And the white people live on the outskirts, they can't even find jobs. And the audacity of them looking at you crazy. How in the fuck you gonna have third world energy be racially discriminating against you? And you don't report it? They tried to play the game by saying because they're people of color, it's not considered racism. Yes, it fuck is. You better look up the laws, the federal laws, and you better peep game because they're trying to manipulate the federal laws where you can't sue as you are being diverted. They're changing laws underneath you federally. They used the culture of people, Afro-Caucasians, to have y'all sleeping out here as they change laws. So you niggas get on these damn jobs and sign these contracts. Are you not reading them? First, he'll say that you're on a 90-day period, but then they don't know the scope of your employment history, meaning how long you'll be there. And this is an at will. 90 days is different from at will. And why would it have a clause to say they don't know how long you're going to be there? What the fuck? California going to have them fucking lights watching you. Well, who are the fucking lobbyists that agreed to this? Who agreed to have cameras watching you? Who? Who is the public entity that backs that up? Not your politicians. Who's the entity that is financing cameras? This is the new law they're gonna try it for 60 days before they implement it for real. So we have to find out who's financing that. But bitch, apparently in California, they cannot go by your credit history when you apply for housing on application. Bitch, I said, So when you got that 300 credit score and they up there trying to say you can't get housing, bitch, they can't discriminate against you. They saying in California, your dumbass kid don't even know how to fucking handwrite. Bitch, we're going to put in a law that you're going to have to learn how to handwrite. I said, they're teaching kids in California how to read social media. What is real news and fake news. We could get low riders back because cruising is coming back. You niggas out here was on that fad work called Twin Flames. Nigga, they made a whole cult behind it called Twin Flame. These white folks making women be men and men be women. Talk about that's your twin flame. I told you about that fad shit. In a minute, they're going to have you have a permit to even practice spirituality, but your ass so stupid you don't understand that's considered discrimination under the EOC of religion. That's why I said that dumbass shit with hair braiding in Louisiana and Texas, and none of you niggas, you Afro-Caucasians, didn't come up together from Texas to Louisiana to fight against that shit, knowing it's a religion and a culture, and that's discriminatory, and there's a loophole, and you letting them put energies and stipulations on hair braiding, which is cultural, because you're going to have these third world people come in trying to manipulate it. Then you got this new fad come in, talk about they want old school beauticians who's doing 90s styles and all that shit and using Marcel's. Y'all sound stupid as fuck. You know what's stupid as fuck? How in the fuck you going to do a weave on short hair? You going to braid somebody's hair to do a short? That's stupid as fuck. Just grow your hair out and cut it. Because most of y'all new ones don't even know how to do hair. So now it's a fad to have an old school beautician. The fuck you doing? Afro-Caucasians? Y'all put spell work on yourself. Dumb shit. Somebody was up here. We was talking about Jeffrey Osborne. I was talking about P-Valley. How that whole scene and they was playing Jeffrey Osborne's song. I think it's by LTD. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I was talking about that, and the person was like, Jeffrey Osborne is gay. He don't like no women. Those songs were for women. I mean, for men. I said, what you mean Jeffrey Osborne don't like women? You telling me I've been listening to a song talking about gay men and gay sex? Then you wonder why niggas out here flavorful. We up here thinking we up here in love with our man and our man in love with us. And all along our man up there thinking about another man because the song is really about another man. Jeffrey Osborne. And we gonna stop playing with fucking Tokyo Tony with them crack hands and heroin hands. We're going to stop playing with Tokyo Toni and her behavior and her bipolar frequency with a form of schizophrenia, number 3, and dissociative disorder. We're going to stop playing with Tokyo Toni. We're going to stop playing with Ray J and Princess. They must owe Ray J some money that they're letting Princess have this fake gambling energy. The first black woman, this and that. Nah, they owe him money. We don't stop that. Did you hear the shit that's been going on abroad? Somebody else was telling me about it, but I knew about it too. About abroad, they're talking about that the kids' parents that Angela Jolie have and Madonna and the rest of these motherfuckers, they want their kids back because their kids was kidnapped and stolen. But they're talking about it abroad. But they not talking about it here. They went and dropped the whole thing. Remember when I think it was Madonna's daughter, or somebody has an Ethiopian daughter, whatever it was, and I think it's Angela Jolie, whatever it is, they want their fucking kids back, and they saying, and now they want their kids back, and then the African father of Madonna's kids want his kids back, but they're not talking about it here. You niggas up here worried about what the fuck is going on with Epstein. Fuck that list. All the motherfuckers that was on that list have hit the bricks. They're hiding, or they're somewhere else in the cemetery. Or they're somewhere. They're hiding. Who gives a fuck about that list? I don't give a fuck about that list anymore. You know why? Because those kids from the Boys and Girls Club, the Boys Town of America, underground, adoptions, group homes, and all of that, those kids are groomed, and now they're in the universal soul. You don't ask fucking questions on why there's so many female teachers having sex with these boys and girls. Just recently, they was talking about a black teacher that did this viral video, was having sex with her student. They talk about this black trans person that's supposed to be an activist raping children. You don't think these teachers come from that? You don't know shit about these people. You just know that they put them in the system to work in the school system, and they're sexually assaulting our children. You don't think these people come from those avenues? I was listening to the song, what's it, Prince 1999. I went back and listened to his whole album. Take his 1999 album, place it today, you will know what's going on. How come we just never went back and listened that this man told us that the towers are going to fall in 1999. In 1996, AT&T had a commercial with a person running track and field. And he was running down the street and he ran to the New York Towers. 1996, 1999, 1996, flip the 9, the 6, flip the 6 into a 9. And he used, what's it, the turnathon, whatever, that stick, and he jumps in the air, whatever, and he's falling from a tower. And you watching the people looking at him in the tower as he falls. How come we didn't go back to Notorious Big, and I believe it's Juicy, and he talks about the towers falling? The fuck? How come we so busy listening to Jaguar Wright? Was she trafficked? Like Little Kim? How come we never investigate? Like, why was Little Kim in teenage love? Why are white girls calling themselves mid-size? What the fuck did Lizzo do that they have her prostituting and looking like a goon? Did you see her Grinch outfit and how small she looked? I said, oh, they got her. You seen the shit with Super Scent. They sold her to that man and sold that man to her. She didn't gave property to this motherfucker. They're forcing black women to be with these men who just live on them and take from them. Do you know how many women that I go through and work with because some man want their shit and the woman has what she has, but he wants her shit, and he'll figure out ways to do spell work and to sabotage her? Nah, let's watch these men. Black women, we have always worked. We've always had our own. I don't know what the fuck these niggas are talking about out here. We've always went to school. We've always educated ourselves. We've always taken care of home, good or bad. Even as single mothers, nobody's perfect out here, but we got these Afro-Caucasian children who got a whole bunch of issues. She did this, she did take care of her mama. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna show up to dinner because my molester is there. No, you need to go to that dinner and confront your fucking molester in front of every motherfucking body and hold everybody responsible who knew that motherfucker molested you, then leave. Punk bitches. I'm sick and tired of these fat black kids on Instagram. Yo, fat ass kid eat too much. Stop putting their fat asses on Instagram. God damn it. It's embarrassing and humiliating. What is that? That NFL.ly? Especially that? That's abuse. And stop showing the abuse of our children and their eating habits on social media. And you're up there buying all them fucking potato chips and processed shit. Have a conversation. Me and my kids, we have a conversation. My son was just telling me, I've been raised to eat rich and greasy foods. And so I went back to cooking because I didn't want to eat any more of the slop. The fuck? I didn't want to be poisoned anymore. I didn't want to be fast-tracked anymore. I didn't want my food from ghost kitchens. But we had a conversation. He was like, Mom, the food is good, but it's heavy. Can you do this? That's a conversation. Don't put your fat ass kid eating top ramen on fucking social media so we could see how they eat and you're the problem. Yeah, we have to talk like that. Stop it with, oh, you're bullying that child. Fuck that shit. Are we going to sit up and still see that Krishan child is interesting? And still see and believe like, oh, that's just a baby. Don't talk about. I was bumping into social media with Haley Bailey and DDG, and I heard their baby allegedly crying in the back. I said, you better do something with that fucking creature feature Lucifer Satan sentient child crying. Is that a goblin? Is that a goblin? Is people going to tell me that baby don't sound interesting? My son was like, she had a baby? Yeah, she hid that. Yeah, she did. Stop showing us these goblin children. Yes, T.I.'s daughter is a goblin. I don't want to see any more goblins. All them entertainment children are goblins. I got my own. I don't want to see yours. I want to be entertained. Oh, she doing too much. She talking too much. That's wrong. Of course it is Afro-Caucasians. But are there any lies? We should have a conversation. Tiffany Haddish have 2 DUIs. And she said, I'm not guilty. She's not guilty. There's something else going on with that. And they keep stopping her to reprogram her. There's a reason. I'm going to keep telling you, I don't trust Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Stop fucking around with her. She on some other shit. There's this energy, and I'm pronouncing it the way I pronounce it. I think it's called homunculus. Like human. Homunculus. And in so many words, it's basically growing humans from the dirt. Like Cabbage Patch Dolls, right? And I was having a conversation with someone, and I told them, I said, hey, we have a lot of monsters, for real monsters around here that are monsters. I said, how do you know they're not growing them from feces? And the person was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, no. I said, have you ever looked at the scientists go into sewers and they see the mechanism breathing in and out? And they talk about because in the going through the sewers is feces, debris, and garbage and darkness is creating basically a new humanoid that has life. And what they're saying is that if a person, condoms, ejaculation, whatever, urine, DNA comes together, it will create a species. So think about this. Think about feces, human DNA, our tissue. Feces has our tissue, DNA. Urine has our tissue, DNA. Ejaculation, other living mechanisms creating humanoids. That is the same thing as this word. Homunculus is HOMU, human, CULUS. That's why when I was listening to the person, they were talking about the Cabbage Patch Dolls. I said, that's like, some of the body snatchers creating energies from the dirt up. That is true. In the 80s, they used to show so many horror movies of them percolating humans in the dirt. And I remember when Cabbage Patches came out, because my mother bought me 2 of them. We didn't connect it. I just thought they was cabbage. I never looked at it that they was little shop of horrors. But then we have these new monsters. What is it to create a new species out of feces? I'm just talking. I had somebody hit me up asking, should they do the drug DMT to hallucinate? And will it take them to a different frequency in their spirituality? And I asked them a question or whatever. If the spirit chooses you to have spirit, to have vision, then why would you take a drug, mushrooms, whatever it is, so you could force yourself to see? That's not real. And it doesn't enhance your vision because it goes away. You're door dashing it. You're door dashing spirituality. But that's CIA work because they have drugs to tell you to make you tell the truth. I told you the CIA, I'm just being common, is a religion. Putting drugs in the eyes to make you have a certain frequency. No, I'm in the spirit. I want the spirit. The closest thing to spirit I get is some fucking alcohol. Is it an elixir? I don't know. But we got to think about spirituality. I also was talking to the person, and I said to him, how do you know Earth is real? How do you know we're not sitting on top of a spaceship or something? And we are on top and they're under looking at us. Do you know how much and so much shit is happening underground? And so they're in their energies. We're on top. And they're like, look at these humans. Look at them. Do this to them. Let's regulate them. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Then I have someone over here saying, don't be shocked, who's running all of this, causing all this havoc is a black woman. Did y'all see Bruce Jenner trying to revert back into a man? I was looking at something with this rapper from the 90s, I think late 80s, 90s, called MC Trouble. And she died of a seizure. Who took her place? She was from Los Angeles. Remember MC Trouble? I was talking to someone about, I was looking at Living Single. And I said, it was a lot of shit going on Living Single. I said, we didn't even peep that Regine was a hoe. And I said, I was peeping that on the show, she had on something that was showing her nipples. I said, what the fuck were we looking at? Then somebody brought to my attention that Moni Love allegedly was dating Queen Latifah. And then I was listening where that role, that Sinclair role, was for her. And I was like, and the person was like, yeah, I can see Moni Love playing that. I said, yeah. I said, but damn, they put her in a dingy cancer role. I said, no wonder that role was dingy, because that's the way people think about cancer. I said, Moni Love is a cancer, right? I said, no wonder Jaguar Wright was all in her feelings talking about her. They were probably dating. I said, Moni Love dated Queen Latifah? I said, most likely Queen Latifah was probably being a Pisces remaining in her first house energies. That's why that role was written the way as a second houser. At the end of the day, didn't Moni Love end up having children? I said, I always wondered why her career didn't go where it was supposed to go, because she's actually talented and entertaining. More than Queen Latifah, to be honest with you. Did y'all see that holiday party, Kim Kardashian? What kind of shit was that? What the fuck was going on with Tank? Was there really Blue Ivy there? Why did she look out of place like she didn't even know why she was there? And matter of fact, who's that? Because the one that was on that stage was taller and skinnier. Why would Paris Hilton be kissing Kim Kardashian's ass? She don't like her too much. They got these people under ritual. I don't know. You guys up there talking about Kim Kardashian doing all that spell work. That's not work. That's a system behind her. And she done sold so much pussy and everything else that they just gave it to her. Now people being forced to kiss her feet. I'm going to ride with her father. He blocked off that whole family, didn't give them shit. I'm going to understand, why did their daddy do that to them? What are we not missing? I mean, what are we missing here? Why would the Kardashian father disown his children and don't leave them shit? Some of you guys will look at it as she made it. It's a come up and she getting her money. Yeah, the best way she can. And now she has to do the shit she got to do to keep it. Why all these niggas at that party? I was shocked. You know that Zeus chick, Natalie Nunn? They're saying she's an inbreed because she has a what they call a Habsburg jaw. They said people who got that jaw like the moon, that Habsburg jaw, their family have a trait of incest and inbreeding. We up here looking at an inbreed? What kind of spell work is that? Did you know Jamal Bryant was some kind of king over there in Ghana? We just doing a recap. We just talking about Afro-Caucasians this year. Did you see all the motherfucking people that died all this goddamn year? God damn, it was so many of them that they missed them. Even the one that was missing up in the goddamn mountains. Is he really dead? But you want to know what's eerie? I was looking at something that was playing music and giving acknowledgement to black women that died, black singers that died. Do you know who in the fuck was on that list of black singers that died of the past? Do you know Patti LaBelle was on there? Bunny DeBarge, Jody Watley, and Dionne Warwick. I said, what you talking about? They still alive. And Diana Ross. I said, what you talking about? They still alive. Allegedly. Don't have me listening to any more Willow Smith music. I was up there listening to Willow Smith music. Then I got scared because I heard them fucking energies in her music. I like her music, but I can't listen to that all the time because it's like, what the fuck is she on? And how come we didn't peep she's a Pan-African? Anytime you see in purple and they talk about Egyptians and divine femininity and feminine energy, you got to know the connection. But can we go back to her mother? Did y'all see that pic? God damn, Jada. You ain't got no fucking alopecia. You a stud. We know you a pagan. How come we not peeping Quincy, I'll Be Sure's son? It seems like he didn't took custody of them girls. Every time I always see he taught them how to drive. He's like their pseudo father. How come we didn't peep that? In 1959, they were talking about heroin, the powdered heroin and the drugs, right? And they were talking about that in the early 1900s, late 1800s, they used to use heroin as for medicine, as we understand. Then they outlawed it, okay? And I've always known heroin in a liquid form, and don't judge me. Don't ask me any questions. I also know it in the tar form. Don't ask me any questions. And I've seen it black. I've seen it brown. Okay? Anyway, I'm confused about something of this era. Was there ever anything called crack? Were people out here really doing heroin, powdered heroin all along? Because I never heard of, and don't get me wrong, correct me. When they were cutting heroin with lactate and milk, and they said milk sugar. Isn't that what they used to do with crack? And you get some niggas out here talking about, no, it was cocaine. It was this. And they mixed it. No. You don't know what you're talking about. Because you're not the creator of that drug. You don't know what it is. You're just selling it. You're just doing what you're doing. But you really don't know what this is. Was that crack rock, heroin, and crystal meth, all these chemicals together? And was powdered cocaine really heroin? And they just told us it was something? Because when you go back to this era and you look at how they was chopping, this was something I was looking at it in 1959. It looks a lot like, and remember that movie with DMX, and he went, it's something die, or is it something die, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. And remember when he got mad at his girlfriend, and she liked cocaine, but he switched it out for heroin, and she got hooked for real. Because I'm just talking, y'all, let's just help me out here. It's the bewitchery that you are really not hooked on the powdered cocaine, allegedly, but what hooks you is the heroin. And do they mix the heroin because it looks so much alike in the cocaine that hooks you? Is it the heroin all along that had the addiction? Not so much the powdered cocaine, but the heroin. And then they create all of these different fentanyls and meths and all of this shit. Just like was it called a Zempic? We don't know the after effects of that. You might as well just go onto the gym and try to work out your weight yourself. Because in the long run, is the Ozempic going to fuck with your kidneys and liver? And then you're going to be on dialysis? I didn't went to the left. But I'm just asking questions, y'all. Because after looking at how they were chopping it up, mixing the drug, I said, I remember back in the day, don't judge me, when I used to date the dope boys, don't judge me, and I used to see what they do, don't judge me. It's the same frequency when they used to do the crack shit. Don't judge me. I'm just talking allegedly. Don't judge me, I was living recklessly. Anyway, this is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.